Hello, everybody. Brian, you're a wind-up merchant, so yeah. Welcome along to pre-match build-up here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast, brought to you by the Rabble Network and the Talk Sport Fan Network as well. Yes, Rangers travelling to Falkirk after another, I don't know if humiliating defeat in Europe is the right word, but another poor defeat in Europe. This surely is Russell Martin's last chance saloon to try and do anything, really, that we would consider decent or good. Or he's certainly not getting the fans back on side today, regardless of what happens. But we shall see. Like I say, my name's Martin, and I am joined today by my co-host, decent friend. I wouldn't go as far as good, but decent friend, Brian. Brian, how are you?
Yeah, good. Quiet Saturday night, so yeah, looking forward to the game. Not quite sure what to expect out of this one. We haven't played Falkirk in the league for a number of years, so we're kind of going a bit into the unknown as we haven't faced them for a while. So looking forward to it.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, always look forward to a Rangers game. Always look forward to a Rangers game. Usually I'm seething after it, but certainly the build up to a game, I'm always excited.
Yes, and yes, Jordy. Thrown right under the bus for the decent friend category. Um, so yes, Martin has just spoke. As soon as that is available, we shall bring that to you. Right, Brian. I forgot to bring it up on the screen because I'm a little bit unorganised this morning. But I'll bring it up just now. The starting lineup for Rangers today sees Botland in goal, a back four of James Tavernier, John Souttar, Nasser Djiga, and Derek Cornelius. I'm not going to keep saying the first names. Then a midfield three of Barron, Rothwell, and Raskin, and a front three of Moore, Gassama, and Majovski through the middle. Aasgaard dropped. Magoma clearly, I think, I hope, is still carrying a little niggle, and that's why Russell Martin doesn't see it as important for him to be in the team just before an international break. Cameron's been on the bench now for a couple of games. Hopefully, he's getting back into kind of some level of fitness. Brian, and Diamande still not been brought back into the team after his red card in Europe. What's your thoughts on the starting lineup?
Rothwell back in, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think he would be back in. Apart from that, I think Cornelius being at left back is the only option because we only have him or Magoma. And obviously, as you just said, Magoma might still be carrying a little knock from the European games, so that's not surprising. I think Rothwell's the one that's the sort of surprise that's been thrown in there. You know, Diamande, Cameron, Aasgaard, they've been sort of featuring quite frequently. So Rothwell and Raskin in the same team and Barron, not much goal threat there, is there? So it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit too much. How could you put it? Three holding midfielders, you could
What
argue.
do you think it's too defensive, Brian?
Well, there's not much goals in that three, is there? You know, Barron, Rothwell, and Raskin, they're not much of a goal threat. I mean, Raskin, out of the three, is the one that you would say is the biggest goal threat, and he's certainly not, scored his fair share of goals. So it's it's very defensive, I would think.
Yeah, but is Rothwell not shown in the last kind of few sub appearances, albeit he hasn't been on the pitch much or for that long, that he is a player who can kind of motor and get forward? Or do you expect that to be Rothwell and Barron? If we've got two sitters against Falkirk, it's game over, right? But will it be more Rothwell and Barron hanging back with Raskin, kind of playing that more forward position? Although I do kind of agree, it is three more defensively minded players in the middle of the park, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, you would like to think it's Rothwell sitting in front of the back four, and then you've got the legs of Barron and Raskin to get busy, get around, and you know try and make things happen. I just don't think. Well, from all we've seen this season, Rothwell doesn't appear to have much legs in him. Obviously, he's been out injured, so hopefully he's maybe got that fitness back. But on first sort of impressions, Rothwell's not looked as though he's been able to get up and down a football pitch fairly easy. So I would think Rothwell is going to be the sitter, and Barron and Raskin are going to be the busy bees in the middle of the park.
Right. Well, let's. I think let's hear Brian from the manager, shall we? Yes, we do. It's only a minute and 50 seconds or something like that, so don't worry, folks. It's not on for ages. But he might be able to give us a couple of explanations as to why the team is the way the team is.
Russell, it's Falkirk in the Scottish Premiership this afternoon. It's been another quick turnaround from midweek, but how have those preparations been?
They've been good. I think we've learned a lot from the other night. There was a lot of really good stuff, but we got hurt by a couple of moments that shouldn't happen. So I think domestically, we want to keep building. We need to make this our third win in a row for sure. And we need to build on performances, keep creating as much as we have done recently. We've created a lot. And not enough to show for it. So we need to add that ruthless edge at the end of it. And also defensively, we need to make sure that we limit them again, because domestically we haven't given away very much at all recently. So we need to improve on that from the other night.
For you, is it about seeing a more consistent performance too? Because obviously last week, the first half, there were so many good things, and then that spell in the second half.
Yeah, the moments are like building of the good stuff and how the lads are feeling about it and their understanding of it, their togetherness. But now we have to knit it together for longer periods and dominate for as long as we possibly can.
There's 4 changes today. How much of that is about keeping freshness in the group?
Yeah, it's all to do with that. I don't think it's about performance. The guys that came out, it's tough decisions. They've done well, but we have a lot of options now, a lot of depth, so we have to use it. And we've got a lot of experience on the pitch today, which we haven't had all the time so far this season. We've got a very young team, which is exciting. They're learning and grinding all the time. And today's probably one of the more experienced teams we could put on the pitch, and I think it will help us today.
Just lastly, a word on Falkirk. What do you think what kind of challenge do you think?
Well, they're good. They're really clear in the way they want to play. They really stick to it no matter where they go. So there's a lot to like about them. And obviously with that, when you want to play open and expansive, it also brings some problems as well. And we have to exploit that. So big respect for them and what they do and what John's got them doing. But it has to be about us, and we have to turn the game into one that we want. And we have to be excited about the opportunities we'll have with the ball and without it today.
Yeah, so there you go. That is Russell Martin's thoughts and feelings heading into the game. Now, I'm a little bit worried because Willie Irwin has asked me for the link to come on to the show. Good afternoon, William. May I ask why you're coming on? Have you got some breaking news, or are you just wanting to have a rant?
No, I mean, I was watching the pod live, right? How he can say some of the things he said in that. Honestly, that man has lost the plot if he thinks we played well during the week, and then he's trying to come out and say we're trying to string together 3 league wins. I mean, it's sort of 2 league wins. It's like, I actually want to know where he is at all times and what he's doing, because he's obviously seen something that none of the rest of us are seeing. Like, you know me, I'm a fairly positive guy, right? But honestly, that man is either taking some substance that is making him high, or the rest of us are on another planet for what he sees from game to game. Yeah, I mean, it honestly blows my mind. That pre-match is blowing my mind there. I'm sorry. That is totally wild what he just said there.
Well, I'll tell you how bad it is, Willie. I'll tell you how bad it is. We have got people in the comments counting how many hair flicks he does.
See, but you know, they look. See, to me, the most disturbing thing, right, is that he tries to come out and make everything a positive, right? And I get why managers do that, but there's not much positive to talk about, right? And for him to actually say that some of the stuff we've done during the week was good, it wasn't. Sturm Graz are a very average team, and so we basically gave them a 2-goal start, and then it seems to be that every half time he's got to tell the players what they've done wrong. So I see game in, game out, you shouldn't have to tell the team at half time that they've done so much wrong. That should be sorted during the week. So to me, he's either a really poor coach that isn't training the players well, or the players just don't give a toss what he's telling them, and that they just toss it off at half time and they start to do their own thing, because that seems to be how it is.
Well, I'm obviously, folk are mentioning it in the comments, and I said it first in the chat.
Are you going to mention Curtis, Brian?
Yes.
Right, before you do that then, right, because we've had 2 super chats about it, so because that was going to be my next point, right? So they're both for Stephen Robertson, right, our friend in Australia. The first one, thank you very much. I'll just say thank you very much, Stephen, for the support on both super chats, right? So the first one is, where is Curtis, Brian? And then as soon as Willie jumped on, the second one was, Willie, where is Curtis? Mate, justify it for us, please. So, Willie, I'll come to you. I'll come to you first, Willie, and then Brian, feel free to jump in. Willie, where is Finlay Curtis?
Probably sitting up in the stand watching the game, thinking the same shite that we're listening to. See, to be honest with you, mate, I can only imagine how crushing this is for him internally, because see, if Finlay Curtis was as poor as what Mikey Moore's been, you would understand if he was out of the squad, right? But the fact that kid can't even go on the pitch most weeks, while Mikey Moore's still starting games, and now he's totally out of the squad when he's been replaced by guys like Bajrami, who's been considered to be a bit part player and was basically told he could leave before the transfer window closed. He's been taken out of the European squad, but he somehow manages to make it into the matchday squad. I actually don't think I could express my true feelings towards that right now, because I mean, I can't understand the starting 11, never mind the bench. I find some of the things that he says like erratic. And even if you add in the other side of it, right, you've went from like a team that played midweek, right? Surely Diamande comes into that starting 11 because you need somebody that's going to get forward. Instead, we've now got Barron, Rothwell and Raskin. I don't think that's a particularly great midfield that's going to be dynamic and get forward that much. That's my view on it. I'm stunned that Mikey Moore's back in the starting 11. And he seems to want to just kind of move Chermiti and Miovski about from game to game. This must be his...
Oh no, have you not heard the latest on Chermiti, Willie? Have you not
Right.
heard this?
No.
He's got some kind of ligament problem that means that he can't play on plastic pitches, or he can't play many minutes on plastic pitches. So we've signed a player for $8.5 million who can't play in a third of the pitches in the league.
You know what? That's just an absolute masterstroke for Kevin Felwell. I mean, you've got to pat the guy in the back. I mean, he's made some dynamic saves. We paid £3 million for a centre half that can't get into the match day squad most weeks.
Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, Brian, but that's what I've been hearing, that he's got some kind of ligament problem or something like that.
Yeah, that is something I've heard as well. So basically, Falkirk away twice, he can't play.
You've got Kelly as well.
Livingston, he can't play away twice. So there's 4 games. And then Kelly once away. That's 5. That's at least 5 games he cannot play in this league season.
He can't play many minutes. He can't play many
I mean, you
minutes.
imagine they're like title deciding games, right? This guy is like your best striker at the club. Like, say he scored like 20 goals in 30 games, right? And he's absolutely flying. But we rock up to Livingston on a Wednesday night. See that guy I paid £8.5 million for? He can't play in that pitch, by the way. You've just got to go to Felwell and go, "What, mate? That was a masterstroke. You paying all that money for a guy who can't play in a plastic pitch." I mean,
it's bonkers. It's bonkers. I mean, I've counted at least 5 games he cannot make. There's possibly 6 if the Kelly game is away from home as well. And then you've got to think of the split. So if any of those 3 teams make the split, that's it. So this is just another black mark against Thelwell and the recruitment, I'm afraid.
I'm going to bring up this super chat for Ian Mitchell. Afternoon, guys. Hopefully 3 points today, but I'm still, I believe that's meant to say not sure. Falkirk, by the way. And another one for Ian as well. I feel sorry for the boy. Curtis turns up when asked, like I just said. Can anyone see Scott Arfield stealing the show at the end? So Ian, mate, thank you very much for the 2 super chats. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. Constant supporter of the channel. Look, there's not really much that we can say on Finlay Curtis in terms of why he's not in the team, because unless people want to break confidentiality with people behind the scenes, we don't know why he's not in the team. But Brian,
look, I think he's just been dropped for the squad. Like, there's no reason for him not to be in the squad. He's, the managers looked at that during the week and decided this is the best team for today's game. He's looked at the bench, as I say, and he's like plucked a couple of names out of there and put. Lyle Cameron's barely played for a month. He's been out injured for a period of time. Yeah, and obviously Barami's obviously not in the European squad, so the manager thought, I don't really want him in the European squad. And without kind of repeating myself, he'd already told him he could go before the window closed, which he didn't. But let's put him in the squad before a kid who has actually looked dangerous any time he's actually come on the pitch. and was our top goal scorer up until recently, if he's not still like kind of round about that. I mean, see, the thing is, like, nobody asks him to explain these things. I think, like, you look at like the pre-match thing. What was that, like 1 minute and 45 seconds? So a whole 100 seconds of talk before a match. Normally that would be like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But they know that, they know the supporters don't actually really want to hear from them. So they make it like the bare minimum, which is about 3 questions. And then, like, you know what the questions are going to be after the game, win, lose or draw.
Well, Rangers TV, Wally, aren't they going to ask, in-depth questions?
I know, but see where you feel sorry for them, right? Is it like, so you've got Louise or whatever that's got to stand up there and ask him these questions? Mentally inside, I mean, just like many of the other people that work at the football club that are Rangers fans, she's just got to be professional and ask these questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like it seems to me like Rangers don't even need to put out that. Like, Rangers could just bypass that stuff before the game. Because, see, to be honest with you, I don't think there's that many people that are interested in what he's got to say. And that, to me, is a pretty damning thing to be saying about any Rangers manager. It's never something I've felt before. But I feel like we're already past the stage of actually caring what he's got to say. I think the only thing that we want to hear now is that Rangers have sacked him. I think that is genuinely the only thing that 90% of supporters want to hear now. And that is actually truly shocking and not something I ever thought I would ever say or feel.
Well, actually, on that, by the way, we've got test video. Wally is on one today. We are seriously goosed if Wally's reacting like this. So,
see the thing is, right, this is me actually quite composed. I mean, you know how angry I can get when I go off on a rant. I mean, like, Martin's heard 10 times worse test video, by the way, honestly. He's been at academy games where I've lost the plot about stuff.
I've had to leave early.
Well, you left early because you said you're cramping your leg because you'd been standing up for an hour. But I mean, we'll not tell everybody in the whole world that you left because you're cramping your leg.
So,
but no, in all seriousness, it's just hard to find words for what he's actually thinking and what he's doing. I don't actually know what else to say about the man. It's just crazy.
I mean, Brian, let's be honest, regardless of what happens today, I don't think anything... If we go out and win 5-6-7-0 today, right, I still don't think it changes, Brian, a single supporter's opinion, and that's a mental thing to say.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be that's going to be the case until the manager and the team go on a run of games and prove that they can actually go to difficult places and get results. Livingston last week wasn't great, but we got the win. We've got to see a succession of performances and a succession of wins before any chat of supporting Russell Martin even gets close to being mentioned. We've got to see performances improve. We've got to see, as I say, a string of results. And even then, I still don't think in fans' eyes that'll be enough. I think the damage is done. He's burnt his bridges with the fans as far as I'm concerned. I think some of the interviews he's given, and as Willie was saying, like, what's he actually watching? Are we watching two different sort of football games that he's watching? To say that we played well midweek is baffling. So no, I don't really see anything changing in the supporters' eyes anytime soon.
I mean, at this point here, Wally, for Shona, channel member, thank you very much, Shona. He has a plan A, and that's to get the ball to Gassama. When shit hits the fan, he goes for the scattergun approach, and players look better when allowed to have freedom. That is effectively Russell Martin's tactics in a nutshell. Get the ball to Gassama.
I know, but there's another sort of 9 outfield players in the pitch though. So what are they doing? Just running about, getting the ball away, and then hoping that we don't concede a goal? I mean, I genuinely believe that in his head, right, and this is me trying to be like fairly kind of straight down the line, right? I think in his head, like, he's come up here and he's thought, we'll probably not concede too many goals, so we'll have the majority of possession. And as long as we've got a couple of flair players, that will be enough to hurt the opposition, right? And then when you look at the recruitment of the players that we've signed, some are good players. I still believe that Antman and Gassama are two very, very good players. I still don't feel like they've been given enough freedom to actually do what they should be allowed to do. I think you should have a midfield 2. And then, like, the third player's almost a 10. He's almost playing right in behind the striker. But he seems to kind of switch from game to game in terms of what he's trying to do. I don't really understand, like, how it's going to be set up today. I mean, if that midfield, in my eyes, I can only imagine Barron's going to be the sitter. And they're going to have, like, Rothwell and Raskin as 8s. But if that's the case, why not just play Diamandi? Because he's probably going to be the more aggressor of the 3 of those guys, if that's how you're looking at it. I mean, Aasgaard deserves to be out of the team. Aasgaard's been poor. He's not bringing enough.
He hasn't lit up any trees this season either, will he?
No, but I think he's somebody that at least, when he gets on the ball, he's always looking to take the ball in difficult situations. I think the problem Rothwell's had is that he either looks like he's blowing out his backside, which is obviously deeply after about 45 minutes, or he just completely falls out of the game. So to me, when you've got like a Rothwell on the team, he's got to be on the ball. He's got to be the one that's moving the ball at pace. He's got to be the one that's looking for the quality on the ball. When you look at the wide men, I mean, what's Moore done to deserve to keep playing games?
I don't know. I can't explain it.
See if Rangers come out, right? I know clubs don't tend to do it, but see if Rangers come out and said, look, we have totally screwed the bobbin here with this one, right? Because we've had to accept this loan deal where he has to play, say, 75% of the games. I'm sure there's a criteria within the contract that Rangers will be penalised if he doesn't play so many games. If that's the case, just admit fault and just don't play him and just take the hit financially. Because we're not, I mean, look, but we're now into October. It's not like he's not had time to be here. It's not like he's not had the time to be in the building. Whether we're stopping him from playing his natural game, which might well be the case, right? That might well be true. However, he seems as though like he drops out of games quite quickly. And then he's been bullied in a few games as well, where all the big fullbacks done is just cut across him a few times, and then that seems to be the end for him. Like, he doesn't seem to know what to do beyond that. If that's the case, would have been better just playing Finlay. Because Finlay would have cost us a lot less wages. He wouldn't have cost us, a loan fee, and we wouldn't be getting penalised for not starting them in games. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't really understand like the thought process in it all. It just feels like there's not a lot of thought put into some of the players. And actually, I'll get back to Fernandes. I find that signing the most crazy of them all. We've paid £3 million for a guy who is now probably like the 4th, 5th choice centre-half.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been a starting centre-half for us, Martin. I mean, if we paid £3 million in the summer, like before the new ownership, that guy would have been a starting centre-half. We're now telling this guy that he's a million miles away from starting games and that he's not even going to make the match day squad.
How much did we pay for Goldson? Was that about $3 million we paid for Goldson?
3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we paid less than that for Helander as well.
And look at the difference between Goldson and Fernandes. Ian Mitchell again back in 100%, will he? Ian, thank you very much for the support. Sorry, Brian.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm concerned in the midfield with if Rothwell is the 8, because I don't believe he's got the legs to get up and down that pitch, fairly comfortably. His fitness has been an issue since he's arrived at the club. He's looked like he's been towing a caravan around the pitch for God knows how long. So I really don't see how he's going to get up and down that park today. I really don't. And plastic pitches, well, we all know what they're like. So I just don't see how Rothwell's going to manage to get up and down this pitch. I really don't. There's nothing I've seen this season of him that makes me think that he's going to be this box-to-box midfielder. He seems to be. He's going to be the guy sitting in front of the back four and sort of spraying passes around and doing that sort of job. I just don't see how he can get up and down this pitch.
Well, what I will say before we carry on is a massive thank you to Andrew Duncan for his super sticker. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you will be able to see said super sticker. So, Andrew, thank you very much, my friend. Charles, I'll bring up both of Charles. He blamed the state of the country. I think Russell Martin blames everything before he even considers blaming himself, Charles, to be honest with you, buddy. And his second one is still to witness an Aasgaard sprint. Wally, and by the way, Charles, thank you very much for the support, my friend. Wally, I've still to see an Aasgaard jog.
See, but yet again, this goes back to me talking about like sort of recruitment. Now, see, like Scottish football, I'm not saying Scottish football is basic, right? Because there is good players in Scottish football. I'm not trying to be derogatory towards players. But see, the one thing you need to be able to do in Scotland is get up and down the pitch. So you need somebody that's got an engine, and like within the engine, you need to have like sort of pieces of quality. So in the past, when you looked at some of the players we had signed, even just the last 3 to 5 years, if you look at what Aribo could do, he could get up and down the pitch, but he had the extra quality to get on the ball, be creative, score goals. You had Glenn Kamara, yet again, like obviously Glenn could sit deep, but he was more than capable of getting up the pitch and doing something. You know, like we could go through another 10 or 15 players here. When you look at Tello, it's as though that he's dragging 2 caravans because he can't seem to get up and down the pitch. And to me, that's really worrying. It's different. See if this guy was like opening teams up and we were being so creative and he's the one, you know, bit of quality in the team and he's the one that's picking the ball inside the fullback and he's picking up Gassama and Antman. He's making lovely runs and he's playing the ball into Miovski or Cherbiti and we're scoring 2 or 3 goals a game. You can look beyond like the deficiencies in his game. The problem is, like, we can't see beyond his deficiencies because the rest of the team's not playing any better. So, like, he's been brought in to be that spark. And so far, we probably haven't really seen anything of it. And yet again, whether this is like the manager's tactics, whether this is what he's asking him to do, we will only, I mean, seeing my honest opinion, and yet again, this isn't something I enjoy saying, but we will probably only find out how good some of these players are once Russell Martin leaves. Mm-hmm. Because see, once another manager comes in and actually sets the team up in a manner which is probably the right way of playing in Scottish football, then you might see Antman driving at the fullback or getting first-time crosses in the box or Gassama looking to take those runs or actually giving Miovski a chance to score a goal or asking our midfield players to get beyond players. I mean, see, when you watch us play, I still can't really see what we're trying to do. And that to me is...
Give the ball to Gassama.
See, but yeah, again, like, I know we're joking about it, right? But that's probably the only thing that it looks like he's doing. But like, why pay £4 million for Antman, a guy that was one of the top players in the Eredivisie, one of these guys who was scoring goals and creating goals every other game? No, like he signed whatever it was 24 hours before a European game and was absolutely excellent that night.
Yeah.
And then since then, it's almost as though Russell Martin's went, by the way, I want you to stop doing that. That's not how I want you to play. And you're sitting going, wait a minute, if he's doing that on that side and Gassama's doing his work on the other side, that's going to kill teams.
I have to ask Brian.
Sorry.
No, on you go, and then I'll ask you.
There was the game at Ibrox, Willie, where Ant-Man went down the right-hand side and chipped over Gassam, and Gassam headed it in the goal. And you kind of thought, right, there's 2 wingers that have got something about them. They're, you know, they've got a bit of pace, they've got a bit of invention about them, and you think, right, there's something here. But as you say, it's almost as though Russell Martin's went, oh, you 2 cut that out. I'm not wanting that.
Yeah, that doesn't look like pure football. That's the thing. But Brian, look, we need to finish up shortly because I don't want to overrun Alex on the watch along because you won't be happy. By the way, if you want to sit with Alex through the game and you want to join him on the watch along and you're not a member, then click the link in the description, either YouTube memberships or Patreon. And for as little as $1.99 a month, you can help support the show and you can get loads of extra content. And included in the $1.99 a month is the watch along to every single game. And you can join Big High Tower on that. If we're looking at Miovski being brought back in for Chimiti, and this is the final point I'll get off the 2 of you, Brian, mate, I'll start with you. And I'll use Ticket to Boo's comment to ask the question. Why are our strikers not involved as much and so ineffective in the majority of games, Brian? We can keep swapping between Chimiti and Miovski all we want with a little dabbing of Danilo every now and then. We don't involve them in the game.
No, you could quite simply have R9 of godlike football up there, and he would score exactly the same amount of chances. You know, it's frightening how little the striker gets involved now. He just sort of wanders around and sort of tries to make himself look busy, and tries to sort of make out that he's doing this and doing that. But at the end of the day, there's no link up play. He's not coming deep to get the ball. It's highly depressing that we're in a state of affairs where we've got a guy who knows Scottish football inside out in Miovski, and even he's still failing to pick up any crumbs or get anything. And I mean, it's the fact that it's getting guys into the box as well. When we even get into positions of doing, a bit of damage in the opposition box, there's very few players in that box. We're all sitting way too deep, and we're not even breaking a neck to get into the box and do something. So, yeah, the strikers have been badly needing support for a long, long time.
Wally, I'll give the final word to you, mate. And before you answer on the striker thing, folks, if you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed the happy-go-lucky nature of the Rabble, then do consider just subscribing and giving the show a like and helping to share it around that YouTube algorithm. If you don't want to become a member, liking and subscribing is absolutely free, so we would really appreciate it if you could do that. And we could go out here and win 3, 4, 5-0 today. It's a newly promoted Falkirk. May obviously could get his first hat-trick for Rangers. You never know. It just doesn't feel like that right now, Wally.
No, and I think when you look at I'm not a big stats guy, as you are well aware. I'm not really a huge XG guy and all that stuff, but I would imagine we have some of the lowest amount of touches in the final third of a pitch. I would imagine we probably have even less in the opposition penalty box. So I would say even people that aren't that impressed with football, that don't watch football, one of the early things you would think is we sort of need to get the ball into the opposition box to score a goal. That might come as a shock to Russell Martin, that, by the way, that we actually need to get the ball into the opposition box to actually score a goal. But
it might happen today, Wally. It might happen.
See, the thing is, mate, right? Livingston are a poor team. Like, they've just been like promoted for the championship along with Falkirk. See, if Rangers were to drop points to either of those teams this season, it should be an embarrassment. And that hasn't been disrespectful to those two teams, by the way, because they deserve to be in this division. But the sheer amount of money that Rangers spent in the summer on transfers, Chermiti probably cost more than what Falkirk's entire budget is for the season.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God,
and
yeah, and some.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And yet, we're talking about a team that probably doesn't create a lot of chances, it doesn't have a lot of creativity unless we give the ball to Gassama. See, unless Miovski wants to come and take the ball on the halfway line, beat 4 or 5 guys and stick it in the top bin, the chances of him getting too much quality in at the box today is probably quite low. That is so true, Dougal. So true. But I'm going away because I'm about to go and sit in a dark corner somewhere and find something else to watch, mate. I think that's the reality of what I'm doing.
There must be an English game on somewhere.
Mate, I think I would watch like an Angolan 6-a-side game somewhere than watching that.
So hopefully people aren't listening to you and they go and they tune into the watch along with Alex, and then they join us at 7 o'clock tonight for full match reaction as well. But listen, we'll leave it there, folks. Brian, thank you very much. Willie, thank you very much. Brentford are playing Man City. If you want to watch the watch along on your phone and then watch Brentford Man City rather than watch Rangers, I suppose that's something that you could possibly do. But we're going to leave it there, folks. Please make sure that you like and subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to see more. And again, like I say, if you want to help the show progress a little bit further, we're making some big changes as of a week on Monday for all our members as well. So there's going to be plenty more members content coming. Then join as a member now. Links are in the description. All the live stuff's on YouTube, and then it is uploaded in audio form to Patreon if you prefer to just listen to your shows while you're out and about. So Brian, thank you. Wally, thank you. Everybody who's joined us, thank you. I hope that you enjoy the game. I hope that your team wins, and we shall speak very, very soon.